have more major updates on the David case. David has recently done something that has made it 1,000 times harder to figure out if he is guilty or not. More disturbing video footage as well as allegations have recently resurfaced, so we'll also be going over that. And finally, a medical examiner has said something shocking about the case that no one could have thought of. So with that, we're going to get into all of the new updates on the David case.
On Friday, that changed, and the update may indicate movement on the key document. Now, when you search the case number, all fields appear empty. KTLA did reach out to the medical examiner's office and is awaiting confirmation on whether the autopsy and deferred results are now complete.
It's time to say something no one wants to hear. Things are very strange right now. It's been months and we still don't even know anything about the situation other than what people have dug up online. David could very likely be free. We didn't even know that he was an official suspect until about a week ago. So things are going slowly, and that could either be a terrible thing or that could be a really good thing.
It is also possible that a security hold has been placed on the case in anticipation of the autopsy's release. As KTLA has reported, the autopsy is critical in determining whether a crime occurred beyond what LAPD previously referred to as concealment of a body. And this past week, of course, sources did confirm that David is in fact a suspect in this case.
And for a while, there were huge rumors going around that David was participating and he was helping the police and he was really just working with them. Those have been proven to be completely false. The exact opposite has occurred. He has been basically silent, other than commenting under some TikToks and obviously deleting tons of stuff as well as privating all of his comment sections, or turning them off, another phrase for it. He has been anything but cooperative with the police, which honestly isn't the best look.
So many new videos and clips have surfaced of David and his connection to Celeste, the 15-year-old girl who was found in his Tesla in a tow yard. This one is her backstage at a concert. In this video, she has the Hello Kitty shoes on, and this was back in 2024.
Very recently, the internet has found a lot of video footage that is allegedly of Celeste. We're about to get into how David has made the case much harder, but that's going to be after we discuss the video footage. Obviously, a lot of you already know this, but Celeste did like Hello Kitty a lot. She had a lot of Hello Kitty clothes. And if some of you notice, you can see that his profile picture is Hello Kitty, which is very weird and, dare I say, incredibly creepy.
We found out today that the US leg of his tour is canceled. Brands like Crocs and Hollister have pulled out. He has been unfollowed by many large celebrities. The police also searched his home, where they used luminol to see if they could find any evidence of her being hurt inside the home. They took a laptop as well as several other bags of evidence. We don't know what's in them yet. People have shared photos from his private story, and what blows my mind is that people knew about her, even in his Discord, and yet nothing was done to help her. This flyer was also shared, which shows that she went missing in 2014, but she came back home and went missing again.
I'm not going to show the photos for their privacy, but recently, allegedly, a lot of photos have resurfaced people have taken of Celeste's parents walking around, and it's very controversial when you talk about the parents. People are either like, oh man, it's their fault. Why did they not report her missing? Or people are like, let them grieve. It's their daughters. So you can say what you want. Me personally, I'm not going to blame them because I feel like it's not my place. We don't know enough about the case. It is true that she went missing allegedly, then returned and then went missing again. But I just feel like it's wrong to attack the parents because we don't know everything. And just to automatically attack the parents kind of feels wrong. And the main reason I say this is because I've seen comment sections under other cases and people feel the need to be like, it's the sister's fault or it's the mom's fault for not doing enough. And it just feels wrong, you know, because we are spectators, and to automatically assume a situation that we are only hearing a few different things and the news is constantly changing, it just feels wrong.
Many other photos connected to her. She loved Hello Kitty. There's the shoes. Here's this little keychain thing she had. And here's him on 2/7/2024 with that on. Now, someone also shared a screenshot of Celeste in David's Discord, and it said that she had joined in 2021, and I can't confirm that that is 100% true. But I find it interesting that he says it's the girl he met in 2021, but in other messages, it appears that he didn't live there at the time. So I don't know if that's how they met, and then when he moved, he was closer to her. I don't know.
Be careful, especially when it comes to screenshots, what you believe, because those can easily be faked. I know I've said that before and I sound like a broken record. I just want to say that for sure. And I'm not saying these are fake, but there could be fake ones of Celeste. Like, there could be many different fake things in here, fake messages. There's been so many screenshots of messages. I'm just always kind of worried when I see them because I don't know 100%. You know, it's just, you never really know if they're real or not. And I hate assuming something so big when I just don't know.
David is not talking with the police. It was reported a few days ago by TMZ that David was cooperating with the police, but it's now been acknowledged by the LAPD that David is remaining silent and lawyering up. Also, I keep seeing videos about how they found an Eddie in the backyard of David's house, which is not true. It is clearly an AI news video, and you guys seriously need to stop reposting these fake AI pictures and shit. If any one of these things get brought up in court, then this full case could go out the window.
And David's friends have all been unfollowing him, trying to delete photos they have with him. They've just been doing their best to distance himself. And we already know that there was likely someone else involved in the removal and all of the actions that happened after Celeste's horrific passing. So we likely allegedly know that there is going to be someone else involved. So I'm just saying, please don't sue me. It's likely one of his friends. Like, who else would it be? If someone was involved in it, someone is not talking. And obviously that's why no one else is talking. I remember watching a TikTok and the person was talking about how someone needs to come forward or it's gonna take forever and we probably will never get the person. But I just don't think anyone will, because especially if these people were involved in helping him, I mean, I just don't see why they would.
Back then, the LAPD was denied because they didn't have a good enough reason. And now they must have a good reason because they're able to get this approved, which means that the medical examiner's report has something within it that could jeopardize the case. An LA police detective told a court recently that the publication of the details surrounding the death of Celeste could jeopardize the investigation.
So yeah, more good news. I know, right? I do not know what this could be. Let me know what you think. And I know I sound like I'm begging for engagement. I promise you I do not want engagement. That's not what I'm asking for. I'm genuinely curious what you guys think it could be. Could it be something about her? And we've heard allegations. TMZ, apparently this may have been false. Something about her BODY being frozen and that jeopardizing the situation. I do not know exactly what this could mean, but clearly it's not good.
It claimed that making the autopsy findings public will reveal or tend to reveal the ongoing investigation and the integrity of the investigation, as well as the identity of witnesses and or informants who are cooperating with law enforcement and the content of the information they have provided, which could endanger the lives of witnesses or compromise the investigation. So there's something in the findings that they found, I guess, as far as Celeste's body goes, that could reveal a lot about this case and could implicate a lot of people. I mean, it sounds like people's lives are at risk.
I am so curious what that means exactly. Does it mean a lot of people were involved and that there was some kind of group that could endanger them? I just don't know what that could mean. And honestly, they say that it could be bad, but maybe it could lead to more evidence. Like, we do not know. I hope, especially because it's taken so long, that's a sign that there's a lot of stuff that they can do, that they can link it to the person that committed this horrific crime. I hope that's what it is. But it does look pretty complicated, and maybe because of this, that's the reason it's taken so long, because they claim that it's putting people in danger, and if that's true, obviously that's going to make it take a lot longer. So maybe that's a reason, and it's not due to the lack of evidence, which a lot of people have thought was the reason.
2.5 months since the body of Celeste Rivas was discovered. Still, there's been no official cause of death determined by the LA County Medical Examiner. And now we have learned that that information will not be posted or released anytime soon because of this court order that has been issued. The LA County Medical Examiner received that order on Friday. It was initiated by the LAPD. It means that no records or details associated with the case, including the cause and manner of death, and medical examiner report can be released until further notice. All this unfolding as the LAPD has held off on making any arrest in the case.
Clary Stiles says release all the information so the public can solve the case.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. I have cheered on people obviously digging up stuff because that has been very helpful. But hot take, I know this is kind of controversial to say. I feel like releasing all the information and just letting the internet dig through stuff might not be the best idea. I'm not saying I trust the authorities. Don't come for me, please. I promise I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is it just might lead to a lot more fake stuff, because when all this stuff comes flooding out, people are not going to fact check everything, and people have the attention span of a Dubai chocolate average watcher, so people are probably just going to do like they're going to be like, oh, this is the conclusion I have. And when it's proven false, they're going to be like, well, I don't care. I'm not looking into it anymore. Like, I've seen so many situations online that have occurred, and people are going to treat this horrific event like they treat everything. They're going to make up an assumption based off of probably something false, and then they'll just go with it, rather than the authorities coming out with an actual statement, if that makes sense. Once again, not saying I trust the authorities. Please don't take it like that. I'm kind of losing some hope. I've been losing hope, especially over this situation. But what I'm saying is I just feel like the internet cannot be as helpful as we wish it would be.
New disturbing David update. A source close to her mother said they knew about the relationship with David. The family posted pictures of when she was missing. But then the mother got a phone call saying, "Stop looking for her. She's fine." They also asked the mother to take down the pictures when she posted pictures of her daughter after she went missing. And of course, she took it down, or else we would have known about it.
This is likely a rumor. Obviously, it's a possibility. I do not agree with this TikTok. Why I am showing it to you is because it shows a perspective of what the internet is thinking right now. A lot of people are furious at the parents. And once again, we've already been over that and what I specifically think on that. I can't tell you what to think. I don't blame you if you are kind of annoyed, but at the same time, just remember that misinformation spreads quickly. We don't know everything for sure, so let's just be extra careful. But this is what a lot of people have been saying. But because she allegedly deleted it, we don't know for sure. And once again, it could just be a huge rumor. That's why I would say don't ever go for the family. Please, obviously, do not message them anything. I'm sure they've had problems with that because so many people are coming at them. Just remember that they are the family of Celeste at the end of the day.
Somebody else said it seems like Celeste's family doesn't care. I haven't seen a single person from her family speak out on anything. I wouldn't say that, per se. I mean, it could be part of the investigation. They've been told to be quiet. To give them the benefit of the doubt, maybe they do have information against David, and if it became public, or they made posts, or they started speaking about it, then it could maybe not be used in court, or, David's team could find a way to discredit them. Now, this recent announcement we got from the medical examiner's office isn't the first time that they have spoken. Remember back in September, the LAPD tried to silence the ME, but the ME did say back in September that they found Celeste wearing a tube top, a size small black leggings.
Okay, firstly, I completely agree with this YouTuber on the first point. We have to also remember it's an ongoing investigation. It's easy to say that they deleted things or that they knew or stuff, but to come at them and say, well, they didn't talk about it, they haven't spoken out. If you're getting sued or something like that happens, you have to be quiet. So imagine a case like this to this serious extent. I am willing to bet a lot that they are just keeping quiet because that's what they've been told to do by lawyers. I feel like people do not understand that. They can't just post whatever. It just would not be good.
Sim, please, unless you see an actual news source or absolute proof of anything, don't make a video about it. There's more than enough evidence tying David to Celeste Rivas, and everyone is just taking this comment that David made in the Discord server where he says him and Celeste have a kid on the way, and now they're trying to say that she was actually pregnant or anything. It has never been confirmed if Celeste Rivas was pregnant or not, and I highly doubt police will even be able to tell. Since her was found incomplete and severely decomposed, it's likely it'll take an extended amount of time to determine any cause of death.
And obviously, the longer the investigation takes, the longer the family can't talk. So it may seem like, oh, they're just shutting their mouths because they don't care. No, they 99% chance that they just cannot talk. People are so quick to turn on people in situations like this, and it just kind of annoys me. And yes, I do agree that once again, this type of state that she sadly and honestly it disgusts me. The state that she was in when they found her, that's obviously going to affect the investigation a lot. We've talked about that before, but it honestly is disgusting. I've read some articles on it, and I remember one of them said something about they didn't even know the gender at first. That's how bad it was. So I am not saying that the police are doing everything right now, but what I'm saying is that does kind of give a little background to why it's taking so long.
Let's talk about the family of Celeste or Celeste Rivas Hernandez. As you know, we're taking a deep dive into how everyone's timeline overlaps with Celeste Rivas Hernandez. We are currently on part 3 of 4. Today we're going to be discussing the family of Celeste and all of the things you might have missed. So let's start from the very beginning. I'm going to have to run through these pretty quickly because this is a lot of information. So in order for them to be in sequence, I'm just going to have to read it off to you guys. So, this alleged relationship goes all the way back to 2022. On the David Discord server, there are flirtatious interactions between David and Celeste that go back to 2022.
And no official news source has reported on this yet, so take this with the smallest grain of salt, but there have also been allegations that he has interacted and had relationships with other people that were not 1 to the 8, if you know what I mean. I've seen multiple videos on it, and a lot of them got a lot of attention, but we have to remember, take that with a grain of salt. I'm not just saying this to try not to get sued, but just take that with a grain of salt. But as we know, if someone is willing to commit such a disgusting thing and do something so disgusting one time, they likely are going to do it more than once. So I wouldn't be surprised if that is confirmed. I'm not going to act all surprised, but we just have to remember that that isn't confirmed.
If this is the same Celeste, that means that she was 11 years old at the time of the interactions. David would have been around 15 or 16 years old at this time. There are also other interactions between fans in which they speculate that David's girlfriend is named Celeste. In October of 2023, Esmeralda and Esmeralda's mother are seen with Celeste in Las Vegas. And coincidentally, David had a concert in Las Vegas at the same time. This Instagram post has since been deleted by Esmeralda's mother. He performed October 28, 2023 at the T-Mobile Arena. At this point, David and Celeste would have been only communicating for about a year. Reddit users have speculated that this specific video that is taken in the second location in Hollywood was taken January 11, 2024.
And as some of you may know by now, all of the videos and clips and photos that have resurfaced that look like the girl is Celeste are not confirmed, but look like it likely is or could be her. She's almost always being told to cover her face, or has likely been told to, or he is pushing her out of the video or the stream, or if she says something that seems to be hinting at something that could expose him, he quickly shuts off the live stream or the video. It's all incredibly suspicious. Like, the amount of face covering photos that, like, the girl looks like it could be her is so, like, honestly, it's so creepy and weird. And I know I sound like a broken record because everyone's been saying this, but honestly, how did none of his fans say anything this entire time? Like, there was one comment that has been found under his videos, but, like, how has this not gotten, like, any attention? Because I'm aware he's not, like, a major singer. Like, he has a lot of hits, but he's not, like, he's not like Ariana Grande, so he doesn't have like a million people paying attention to him at every second, but still, he still had a fan base. Not one person could have like spread the message. That's what I do not understand.
I did try to take a look at the video myself, but suspiciously, Twitch Tracker actually took the video down, so I'm not sure if this was actually January 11, 2024, but this is alleged. And just to pull it back to the family, I don't remember ever seeing any report during the month of January at all regarding Miss Rivas Hernandez. The first official missing persons report we get is on February 14th, 2024. At this point, she is the age 13, so they have been allegedly talking online for at least 2 years by this point. In a Facebook post, Celeste's mother wrote that Celeste had been last seen on February 14, 2024. Please share. It's my daughter, and I'm distraught, and she has been missing for 24 hours. According to police records, she was reported missing February 15, 2024. Her family called Riverside County Sheriff officials at 9:18 a.m.
Connecting back to the recent update about the investigator saying lives could be in danger, is he talking about the family? Could David have some sort of power to harm them? Is that why they're possibly being silenced in a way? I am not sure. I'm just honestly kind of curious. That I've just been thinking.
Celeste was seen on home cameras leaving the house sometime around 2 a.m. She had also even left a letter for her family, although it is unclear what the letter said. Deputies were later called to the house at 7:41 p.m. for a follow-up report. She was then returned home to her family in February. What is very unclear is if the family called the cops in Hollywood to see where she had been staying during that time. We also have this photo which shows David interacting with another person who's holding a bag. And based on Google Maps, David was in Lake Elsinore. According to Google Maps, David was standing 0.3 miles from the home where Celeste Rivas was living with her family. It is exactly a 6-minute walk to Celeste's family home from this location that he's standing in currently.
And as some of you viewers know, that photo is very significant because it's where he's allegedly paying off people who know about the relationship. Obviously, we do not know. I know I sound like I've said this quote so many times in this video already. I know that I sound like I'm repeating myself or that I'm just saying the basic information or the basic knowledge around this case, but I know that some of you already know that that is a photo where he's allegedly paying people off. And could it be true? Yes, it's a little bit suspicious, but we do not know for sure the background of that photo.
One of Celeste's classmates and also ex-boyfriend Damien revealed that Celeste confided in him about her difficult relationship with her parent, saying they were mean and that she didn't like them. He said that Celeste often talked about running away and even joked about it at school, but no one thought she was serious. A teacher also went viral for claiming that he taught Celeste before she went missing. He claims that she actually ran away to Hollywood a prior time in order to be with David, who she met online, but that the police tracked her down and returned her to the mother.
This guy could be making it up, but I did see this TikTok. Some of you also may have seen it because it did go viral, but it was honestly really sad, especially if it was real, because he just seemed kind of distraught, and he was talking about how, like, guys, you just got to be careful online. You can't meet up with random people. And I honestly know that, like, if it truly is him, he probably does feel guilt, even though it is not his fault. You know, like, when a situation, a horrific things happen, and you think, like, oh, well, I could have done something. Why not? You know how your brain tells you that? Well, he probably, maybe he's at that state. Who knows? It could just be someone lying. We don't know for sure. Whenever a situation goes viral or a crime goes viral, people fake things, people lie. That always happens. So we don't know for sure, but I did see that TikTok. It's hard to know exactly if it's true or not, but I'm sure a lot of you also did see it. So let me know if you know anything else about specifically that TikTok.
And according to reports, she did not stay home long because on March 19, 2024, Celeste's family again reported her missing. And this is when we find out that her sister was actually looking for her. She had went to the gas station to get a video of Celeste running across the street. So her family was obviously looking for her at this point. But just 17 days later, there would be the last and final missing persons report on April 5th, 2024. At this point, we do see that the family has filed the missing persons report, and we also do see that there is a poster made and a lot of interactions on social media regarding the family in trying to find Celeste. And I want to point out, Steve Fisher states from the start of his investigation, someone close to the situation in Lake Elsinore told him that after the last report, certain family members instructed concerned neighbors not to search for Celeste because she was staying with a family member near Los Angeles. 16 days after this missing persons report, April 21st, 2024, Celeste, Esmeralda, Celeste's cousin, and David are alleged to have gone to Six Flags.
Obviously, it is alleged, but there's a lot of photos, and let's just say it does not look good. Specifically, the Six Flags, there is a lot of stuff. Like, we know with the age of AI and stuff that it could be fake. I know, once again, you get the idea. It could be fake, but there's a lot of stuff specifically related to Six Flags. I just remember looking at different videos and articles about it, and I was like, oh my gosh, how is this guy not in handcuffs now?
There's a Build-A-Bear workshop certificate that Steve Fisher, the private investigator, located inside of David's home with the name Esmeralda. And then we also have video footage of David himself riding a roller coaster at Six Flags. 39 days after this interaction, we see Celeste with her cousin Esmeralda at her graduation. And we all know from experience, at a high school graduation, normally who's there? Family, adult family. I also want to point out that the family stated that they had contact with Celeste in late May via phone. But to me, it looks like it was a little bit more than that. June 1st, 2024, we spot Celeste at a family gathering. Do we know if this video was taken on June the 1st, 2024? No, we don't.
I really wish the best for the cousin in a time like this. People better not make up assumptions about the cousin. Honestly, just let the cousin grieve. I really wish the best for her. I remember when the situation first began to spread like wildfire online, someone allegedly texted the brother of Celeste, and the brother ended up responding and was like, that's my sister, because the person sent photos, and some people on Twitter found it very unethical. They were like, hey, don't bother the brother, let him grieve over his sister, which I do not know if it was real or not. I am not sure. Once again, it was right before, or right around the time it took off, so there's a possibility that they quickly found the brother, and the brother, wasn't, like, saw the notification. There is a possibility that was real, but remember, do not, I feel like this shouldn't even have to be said, even if you have good intentions, do not text the family members. You could put them in danger. Just don't do it. No matter what intentions you have, just leave them alone, because it's just never okay.
But we know it was posted on that day. At this point, she would have been missing for 57 days total. And lastly, September 8th, 2024. we spot Celeste outside of the family home arguing with neighbors. So let's run through this really quickly. She was reported missing February 14, 2024, March 19, 2024, and April 5, 2024. A total of 3 official missing persons reports. But she was known to be in the presence of family while missing at least 4 times. So obviously this tells us that the family did not properly report back with police to keep track of disappearances and reappearances. We also know that dispatch records show that police were called to the Rivas family home in Lake Elsinore 11 times before she vanished and 22 more times after she vanished.
And obviously, from the classmates' perspective, she did not have a good relationship with her family. But we do know a lot of teenagers say that about their family after a fight. So we don't know exactly what their relationship was like. Maybe it was just like 1, 2, 3 fights, and we don't know. We don't know how bad it truly was, because it could have been a really bad relationship. It could have been a really good one. But obviously, one thing is for sure, that she kept running away from home. This is not me coming at the family. Do not take it that way. What I'm saying is just clearly and the joke she made about running away, clearly she did not enjoy it at home, if that makes sense. It seemed like it was more than just like a one-time fight.
September 8th, 2025, Miss Reed is discovered inside of the Tesla. Let's talk about how exactly her body was identified. TMZ spoke with Celeste's mom last week, and she told us about her tattoo, adding it was in red ink. I want to say something about the tattoo portion of this statement. The tattoo did not appear on David up until September of 2024. Which coincidentally is the same time that Celeste is seen outside arguing with neighbors. So this definitely tells me that they were seeing her during the time that she was missing, positively, if I'm going based off of when we see the tattoo appear on David himself.
And of course, we've heard the song. A lot of us, it went viral on YouTube and did some numbers on TikTok, even began a trend, which we've already talked about that, and that was not very ethical. I do not think that we should be using the song as like a cutesy little photo of me and my boyfriend or me and my girlfriend, but separate the art from the artist. That was always their argument when they used the literal song about the poor girl that was... I don't even need to elaborate on what happened, but once again, I've already talked about this before, and people have already covered this. Separate the art from the artist is such a dumb thing. If they do something terrible, you can't separate the art from them. If you listen to your music, you're currently giving them money. It's not that hard to pick something else. He's not Shakespeare. Like, you'll survive. Pick something else. Like, you will survive without Romantic Homicide. You'll survive without those songs. Sure, are they decent? Yes, they are. I will admit they're good. It doesn't automatically make him bad, but separating the art from the artist is just a dumb thing to say, because it's just coping with the fact that you're actively supporting someone who is evil. Not to mention how strange David was. His TikToks are interesting because they're all silly. 6'7", or Labubu, or look at all the Labubus around my waist when I perform, or look how funny and with the times I am, guys. I'm so fun and with you. But some of his songs are really creepy, especially his older ones, where he talks about how like life was hell and how he hated his life and he wanted to you know what, and he was homeschooled and he just did not like anything, and they are creepy. And I've played some of them before, and I have to be careful for obvious reasons, copyright and all of that. I don't know how many songs he has rights over. A bunch of them have been deleted. He tries to delete them, but people have saved a lot of them. It's just weird because like on one side he's just posting like funny, silly little stuff. And he even commented under a Baby No Money's video, allegedly, about when Baby No Money cosplayed as a character from K-pop Demon Hunters. And he commented something laughing emoji or laughing my butt off, something like that. And people were making fun of it. They're like, oh, David's so corny for this, which once again, allegedly. But it's just, isn't that a little bit weird? Like, on one side, he's, like, acting all silly, and then he's saying, like, the most disturbing, creepy stuff in some of his old songs, and even some of his new ones, and he's singing about just very dark things, which, don't get me wrong, obviously there's nothing wrong with singing about those topics, but when someone's allegedly committed a horrific crime, all of a sudden it makes it a little bit less listenable to. Basically, every time there's been a trend, this guy has done it, and he's tried to do it in a sillier way every time, and that's just very weird. And obviously, the minute the accusations dropped, he just removed himself, has not posted anything. His last video has like 100 million views or something, and the comments obviously are shut off. And that's just weird. Plus, like, he's like standing over other pop stars, and it's just honestly very, I mean, I'm not saying this is weird in itself, but it's just weird how different the two different things are. I don't know, it kind of creeps me out, I'm gonna be so honest. Maybe it was his way of coping with what he allegedly had just done. Let's say he did for sure do it. Maybe it was his way of coping somehow. I just feel like, hot take, if you did something like that or you participated in something like that, like, how could you just go along with your life? I've already said this, and I know that, like, anyone who is normal can see what I'm trying to say. I just don't understand. Maybe it was some way for him to try to, like, deal with the fact that he'd done something terrible. Maybe he just doesn't care. I don't know. But it's just really unsettling. So that's the video. I do not feel like talking about this any longer, and I feel like we've gone over the updates. Yep, not very good stuff, but I will let you know if there are any more updates, and I'll see you in the next one.